and walking those halls every day and having that conversation with those kids every day, especially in your role as player development and team development. How was that for you?
Man, surreal. I walk the halls every day like, man, wow, like I'm here. Like,
right.
I can't believe it. Like I'm here. It's something that I dream about, coming back after being here in 2011 and 12. And I'm like, man, I'm here. And so the things that I learned as a player and the things that I learned when I was assistant and strength conditioning coach in 2011 and 12, and my journey all the way back to this point is what I'm trying to give to our guys and pour into them. And Coach Davis he has given me the freedom to, help this program and help these guys. And it's like, don't take anything for granted. Don't look at it and saying, I'm here, I'm at North Carolina, and that's it. Like, don't be that comfortable.
Right.
Take these opportunities that, you've been blessed with, and God has blessed a lot of these guys with gifts and talents and size and everything. Take that, change your life, your family's life, and then use all of that to pour into another young kid, right? Somebody else. And that's been my mindset coming into this, is like, I'm trying to pour into each kid and figure out what's the best way to communicate with that young man. And all right, what's the best way to help him and help him develop? And how can I help Coach Davis?
Right.
In this program, because I've had 3 opportunities where I work for first-time head coaches, and saw what that experience is like. And so also trying to help Coach Davis and like, hey man, don't stress. Like,
right.
It's part of it. Like, this is just part of your growth and development, and our guys are going to have the same growth and development that they have to go through as we continue to build that chemistry, and everybody, is learning Coach Davis and what he wants and how he wants it. And the guys are doing the same thing. So trying to be a little bit of bridge there, but also pour into our young man too.
Right. Well, I know that they're extremely blessed to have you around. And, as I've come up there a few times and had the opportunity to navigate the environment with those kids, play a little basketball with them and so on and so forth. So hopefully they understand, like I've always told them, hey, Jack and Sean and Brad and Hubert and Lebo and Pat, all of those guys are there, and they've walked those halls and they've worn that jersey and they love the institution and they only want the best for you. And so I know that those guys will continue to lean on you and take everything that you say, to help them get to where they're trying to get to, not just as an athlete, but like you said, as a person. So, enough for that, man. Explain to us when Jackie Manuel was down there in South Florida, what made Jackie Manuel come to the University of North Carolina?
There was two people that made me come to the University of North Carolina. All right. Okay. One was Michael Jordan.
Okay.
I was a big fan of Michael Jordan and his wearing his practice shorts under his game shorts and that Carolina blue, and watching all his videos, and I was like, yeah, I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to go there. And the second person, and this is just like a state of Florida thing for me, was Vince Carter. And the reason I say Vince Carter is a big deal in the state of Florida, but I'm a very competitive person. So I'm like, Vince Carter is the only person at that time, was the only person from the state of Florida to play at the University of North Carolina. And I was like, my name can be in that same conversation.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I could go to Florida, I could go to Miami, I can go to these different places, but we've had a lot of people in the state of Florida to do that.
Right.
There's only been one
Right.
to ever go to a program at that level. And that was Vince. And I was like, yeah, I'm gone. there's nothing else to say. And so when I got the opportunity from Coach Doherty, he offered me on that conversation, and I took that offer on that same conversation. There was nothing to debate at all.
Right. So you grew up a North Carolina fan to a certain extent.
To a certain extent, yeah.
To individual. Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting to know. But you're absolutely right. Vince was the first individual to go to the University of North Carolina from Florida, and so you know, what someone that was as heralded as you, and being one of the best players in the country and in the state of Florida, and how athletic and the dimensions that you brought to the game with your scoring ability and things like that. I found it to be interesting that, you know, you would choose the University of North Carolina, but as we see, now we understand why.
Yeah.
And so
for me, it's simple. Like I when I see something I know what I want, there's nothing to overthink and overanalyze. It's like, that's where I want to be. And so when I got here, and regardless of what was going on, I was going to make the best of my situation because this is where I wanted to be, you know. And so if I had a chance to do it again, I would do it all over again.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. So tell us, Jackie, leaving Palm Beach, Florida, and coming to Chapel Hill, North Carolina. How was it when you first arrived at campus? How was that experience? Summertime, summer school, basketball.
Man, we got here, and I promise you this, we got here, myself, Jawad, and Melvin, and we were so locked in on the basketball that we lived in Granville, and we were running from Granville all the way to the Smith Center. And if anybody knows, anybody that went to school here or know Chapel Hill well, you know how far that is from Granville all the way to the Smith Center. And we ran that often. We couldn't get a ride from anybody. We were either walking through campus, right? Or we were running through campus to Smith Center. And we probably got lost about 2 or 3 times before we figured out the right route. But we were super locked in on trying to be really good basketball players. And we all had a goal of playing in the NBA. And we had some really good former players to look at and say, this is how they did it, and this is what they did. And we were trying to mimic that as much as possible to become NBA players. So we took the game very seriously when we got here. And then the other thing for me that stood out when I got here, and this happened around December or so, is like this was the first time I ever saw snow. So yeah, so at that time we didn't have any change of seasons, right, down in Florida, and it was the first time I ever saw snow. So I was like a kid in the candy store, like, wow, like I'm on this big college campus, you know, this is awesome, and then I'm seeing snow for the first time, and it was amazing first time experience.